Here on Newsroom, we are passionate about conservation. Rhino and elephant poaching is a major concern in southern Africa, with more than 1,000 rhino mowed down last year once again. Despite the recent report on rhino poaching suggesting that there's been an overall decrease in the statistics, the situation remains dire. There are several solutions to this situation, such as rhino farming. It's been put forward. There's also the legal trade of domestic rhino horn, to tracking devices and drones to monitor areas and parks. But our wildlife heritage will only be preserved if we can get young people across the board in southern Africa to get involved in conservation and feel passionate about it. I'm joined in studio this morning by Youth for African Wildlife representative Fortunate Parker. Good morning.
Good morning, man.
Now, before we get about what you guys do, tell us, do you think there's enough of an appetite amongst young people in South Africa, Southern Africa, and the wider world to save species for tomorrow?
I would say no, but it is growing, much promising. It's becoming cooler now to be a greenie beanie.
A greenie beanie?
Yeah, that's what we are called.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's becoming cooler now, which is a good thing, which means the movement will grow and we have a better chance of saving these endangered wildlife.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a massive concern. Now, you are involved with Youth for African Wildlife. Tell us what Youth for African Wildlife is all about and what you guys hope to achieve.
In a nutshell, Youth for African Wildlife raises awareness of the plight of endangered species through social media, experiential research, photography, and filmmaking. We also contribute to species protection by donating to organizations that protect species. And one of our awareness drives is working with local communities to sort of help make a connection between conservation and our lives.
Now, one of the programs that you offer and involved in is wildlife photography. Tell us about this. Obviously, it's more than just a hobby that you wish to introduce people to.
Yes. What we're doing is through photography and other methods, we are hoping to get people to connect to conservation. I mean, if you love photography already and we take you out there and we show you that through photography you can make a difference, you can raise awareness, and we get you to love these animals that you should be loving anyway, we have one part of the fight that we have won.
Now, there are many aspects to conservation, lots of different organizations and so forth involved. Tell us about your choice to join this particular organization with a keen focus so much on young people.
I mean, my thing with Youth for African Wildlife is that the mess that we live in right now was created by our fathers and our forefathers. So if conservation organization continue speaking to our fathers and our forefathers, then that will not work because they are not the future. And another thing is decisions are made without the youth. So me being with Youth for African Wildlife is me saying, no, consider us when you make decisions because these decisions are about our future and not yours.
How much of an impact are you seeing the programs that you're involved in having on young people? And I want to extend that to young people, to communities living in and around parks, because without those communities' involvement, we won't be able to really make an impact or conserve our wildlife.
We're having quite a big impact, especially on international youth. We have some that went on to become National Geographic ambassadors and explorers. We have some that have their own conservation channels and photography websites. And locally, we are still getting started. We hope to, as you said, work with communities in and around national reserves. And I'm also tying that in with my master's project, so it's basically community upliftment from both sides.
In this space, what are some of the anecdotes or some of the really interesting stories that have stood out for you thus far?
The one that always happens is I get a question, why do you work with animals? And I go back to them and ask, why not animals? And they said, no, they can live by themselves. I'm like, yeah, they can live by themselves, but we've messed up so much of this world that we need to step in. And without them, we can't survive. unfortunately, they can survive without us.
People don't realize how important our environment has become and how important it is for us to be involved. It's wonderful to see young people like yourself taking that sort of responsibility. But tell us about your events that you've got coming up for the year, and what's your plea out there to young people and to the public? What would you like? What would you like from them? How would you like them to see them get involved in these kinds of programs?
In terms of events that we have for the year, we're looking to be part of COP17 that will be happening in September. And we also have another international internship coming up. And on a more personal level, I'll be training people to become frogging guides. Mm-hmm. That's the events for the year. And my plea is, I don't know where to start, but to the youth out there, let's stand up and make a difference. Basically, we have people coming into South Africa, killing our wildlife, basically dictating what we should do with our land. Why not stand up and say, no, you can't do this. This is our land. We run it according to our terms.
Fortunate, thank you very much for joining.